This is Beyond the Fold, where we talk about what matters most in modern business. I'm Lauren Stitches, the GM of Studio Hawk, a globally renowned SEO agency. In each episode, I sit down with people shaping the future of marketing and business. We'll hear how they got started, the wins, the pivots, and the hard lessons learned along the way. So let's get into it. I'm here with Kate Massey, the GM of Athos Commerce, which brings together Searchspring, Clearview, and Intelligent Reach to get brands found online.
That's right.
Yeah. How's it all going?
It's going very well. We're going through an exciting rebrand at the moment, as you mentioned, to Athos Commerce, which is really uniting those three powerhouse technologies together. So definitely never a dull moment in our world.
Yeah. And you've had a busy day. You've been at the event this morning.
Yep, Rag Trader. So feeling very inspired by lots of powerhouse women that have been leading Australian retailers.
Yeah, awesome. We've met a few times over the years, but I'd love to hear more of your origin story, like hearing where it all started, because people see maybe the Kate today, but they don't know the Kate from 10, 20 years ago. What were you up to? What were you working on? What were the roles that you had?
Yeah, absolutely. So strong marketing background, actually. So did marketing management at uni and then actually went into that. So I actually used to work for Maersk Line, so big global company, as marketing assistant, which was really interesting as a foundational piece. So very much on like brand guidelines and templates and processes. And I think that gave me a really good kind of grounding for where I then took the career. So moved up through the ranks to chief marketing officer, and had a strong kind of marketing background. I think the kind of key there and how that's influenced my kind of leadership today is the piece around influence, right? So marketing is very much around influence. So whether that's with customers, whether that's with potential customers, but also internally, and how do you influence internally to bring kind of campaigns and ideas and initiatives to life? And I think that's really kind of shaped the leader I am today and what we have built with what is now Athos Commerce from the ground up in region.
So that influencing methodology, where did that come from? What was the key project or thing that you went, this is how I can make waves in my leadership skills and make waves in what I do?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really not a one moment, right? I think it's really kind of just evolved over time when, as you do kind of start off a career as a marketing assistant and then move up to like a communications manager and then
all the different titles.
Exactly. And you just kind of work out like, okay, as you're kind of bringing initiatives and projects to life, that you really need to rally the troops. Like, and the more that you do rally the troops, then the more those initiatives can kind of have success and have ownership and kind of pick up speed and kind of take on a life of their own.
Yeah. And CMO of J-Curve, that was the previous role before Searchspring/Athos. It's a big title, and I think that's a very aspirational role to work towards. What was that experience like?
So it was like an amazing 11 years of my career. We went through a lot of change, a lot of growth. We were a small market cap publicly listed company. We had shareholders, we had customers, we were growing, we were going up market, down market into new regions. And so we were doing acquisitions throughout the time. And I was always just in the right position so that every time we were going through another growth position or we were taking on a new acquisition, I would just kind of be there to kind of step up and add more to the portfolio. I was always putting my hand up to say, yep, give it to me. I'll take it on. I'll take on a new challenge and move through several different roles. And I used to hear a bit, particularly in the later years, like, Kate, who's really running that company? You or the CEO, right?
It's a good sign.
Yeah. And obviously we had a CEO and we worked really well together. But after 11 years, it was like, okay, it was time. So we were focused a lot on growth in Asia. I'd been invited to move to Singapore to be our chief strategy officer. That wasn't really kind of drawing me and appealing. And so I decided at that time, we're going into COVID, we're about to make people redundant, that it was like I couldn't be the leader I wanted to be anymore if we weren't going to be focused on growth in Australia and growth of the team in Australia. And so, yeah, that's when I decided it was time for me to resign right in the midst of COVID.
Oh, the timing wise, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
nothing to go to. And it was in those 2 weeks where the whole world just kind of stopped.
Yeah, it was lockdown time and as well.
I was actually just ahead of the lockdowns.
Okay.
I packed up the car and my new little puppy, and we did a 4.5-month road trip up northern New South Wales
lovely.
and Queensland. And it was in Queensland before the lockdown. So, yeah, I spent a lot of time at the beach.
Yeah, a bit lighter up there.
Yeah.
It's okay. And then you jumped into Searchspring, now known as Athos. What was that like? How did that come to be?
Yeah, so after 11 years, no CV, right? So I spun up a CV on the weekend, and I saw a couple of jobs on LinkedIn, applied for a couple of them. One of them was a VP of sales role for Searchspring.
Mm-hmm.
And then I posted on LinkedIn that I was leaving my last company, and had I think it was about 50,000 views on the LinkedIn post, 500 comments. Had lots of people wanting to talk about opportunities and potentially working together, which was great. Kind of took that pressure off in terms of, did I do the right thing in quitting my job when there's so much uncertainty in the world? And so the CEO at the time of Searchspring actually emailed me back. She was like, "Oh, you look more marketing. We're after a VP of sales." So I kind of emailed back on why, because at my former company as chief marketing officer, I was actually running sales and account management and marketing and employee engagement and culture. And so we interviewed and went to a few interviews, and then he came back and said, we're going to go in a different direction. We're going to go after a more traditional VP of sales, and we'll come back when we are ready to look at marketing. And so I was like, well, you've actually got nothing to sell right now. This is at a time when no one really knew Searchspring in region. We had several kind of foundational clients, but nobody really kind of knew the brand unless they had been exposed to it in some way.
In AU, APAC.
Exactly, yep. And so I did explain that actually you need someone to come in and create a market and an awareness and build a presence and a profile in region, and for all of the reasons why they should reconsider. And we had another conversation a couple of weeks later. He's like, it's been playing on my mind. And
so you pushed back and sort of planted a seed of, I guess not doubt, but opportunity.
Absolutely. But also I'd kind of made up my mind throughout that process that I was looking for like a head of region or country manager role as well. And so the stars all came together, and that was 4.5 years ago. It's been an amazing ride over the last 4.5 years.
And I could say, even just anecdotally, I saw Searchspring popping up a lot more, I guess, in the last couple of years. Probably testament to your work behind that as well.
Absolutely.
Suddenly we see it at partner shows and a lot of events, and I think you were driving a lot of that work.
Yeah, absolutely. We have come a long way from being unknown to being considered part of the e-commerce the ecosystem. Yeah, brilliant.
So what's the focus now?
Yeah, so the focus is it is a little bit about what it's always been, focusing on driving results for customers, right? So we've built a team from the ground up. It's gone from me being first boots on the ground, and by first boots on the ground, it's like you've got a phone, go get yourself a laptop and off you go.
Sell some
software. And so we did that very much by focus on going deep by focusing on customers and key customer brands that we wanted to work with, and key verticals like fashion and furniture and homewares and health and beauty. And we'd win the brand that we really wanted to win, and then that allowed us to win the next big brand and the next big brand and the next big brand. And we did that by, again, just really looking at what's going to move the needle for customers. So how do we help to grow conversions or grow AOV or take off some of that manual lift for teams that are running really lean right now? That's today the team that we've built care so deeply about making sure that the work that we do with customers, they're driving value from.
And for you as an individual, what are you focused on? You've got the team aligned by that goal, but what's really driving you at the moment?
What's driving me is there's still so much left in the tank. So a lot of people will say, oh, you must have every brand now, because they know that we're working with, and we always celebrate the brands that we are working with. But there's still so much kind of like potential and things that we want to do. So we have obviously done 2 big acquisitions. So bringing in Clevo to the portfolio. So really for us in region, like Searchspring has been the dominant player in region, but it's given us some additional brands that we've really wanted. And we're now starting to introduce them to the Athos console, and looking at bringing them on the journey of moving on to Athos. And then we have Intelligent Reach. So Intelligent Reach is very much focused on like, how do we really elevate the performance of those digital channels? So there's so much waste that does happen in e-commerce. And so it costs a lot to drive traffic to site. So how do we make sure that when we're spending money to drive traffic to site, we're kind of really maximizing every dollar? And so when pushing into channels like Google Shopping and Meta and TikTok Shop and opening up new channels through marketplaces, how do we really optimize those feeds and test those feeds to really kind of make sure that we're getting great visibility and performance and driving that high quality traffic to site? And so we've just started introducing Intelligent Reach to customers. When we started, we had 7 mutual customers. We've now got 20 mutual customers. We'll have 26 plus mutual customers by the end of the year. And so really focus on everything is centered around product discovery, but how do we focus on product discovery off-site to then drive that high-quality traffic to site, to then really focus on elevating products on site to get the right product to the right shopper at the right time? And there's, again, on average, e-commerce sites convert at 3%. Right. So again, there's so much wastage when that traffic comes to site. So how do we really get focused on that conversion piece and growing AOV and driving the kind of great shopping experiences that want to get shoppers coming back time and time again as well? And so we've had our customer success team. We booked a house in Mossman because we're fully remote. So we booked a house in Mossman for a few days to talk about, right now, the market is tough for retailers. There's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of uncertainty. We had on-again and off-again tariffs, right? And so we
shaky.
Yeah, absolutely. So really wanted to align the CS team around what's important for like those running e-commerce and digital teams right now, and how can we better support them? And that comes down to like optimization, like getting them really kind of humming and making sure that we understand what those challenges are. More and more our customers are running lean, right? Yep. And so automation, scalability, sweating the tech stack becomes even more important when you are running lean. People have still got growth goals to chase, and we're seeing some really great successes with some of our customers that are going, yeah, there's challenges out there, but it's also leading to opportunity, and how do we kind of capitalize on that opportunity that's there as well?
Yeah. Is there a particular project that you worked on that you were like, we turn that wastage into something really gold?
Oh, there is so many.
I'm sure you do, Abby.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we work with everything from emerging retailers, right? So the smaller ones where every incremental dollar you can drive can make a big impact, right? So making sure like we've got personalization, like carousels, cross-sell, upsell, cart upsells, like Klaviyo or .digital personalized product recommendation flows going to drive that traffic back to site. And so we're always really passionate about the kind of emerging retailers, and there's some
the ones who are trying to get their way up there.
Yeah, absolutely. But then we can be like huddling on getting a top tier multi-brand, like multi-domain like project rolled out, and like that's super rewarding as well, right? And so I think for me what's like been kind of the best project or the best customers is the customers that lean in during a project. And they're the customers, like we've got so many raving fans now that take us from brand to brand. And Ari, who is now at Outcast, was one of my first customers I went and saw when I launched Searchspring in region at the Upside. Was at Bellini. So we implemented there. Subi, I've done 7 of their global site rollouts. Fantastic customer. Pepper Mayo. So crazy fast fashion, like global expansion, high traffic, big promotional led business. And at Outcast, which again, like hugely successful and rolling out to new products as well. And what I always love about being at events, and we built this really great community of customers, and we'll host like long table lunches, and our customers will come and they'll start talking, and then they'll say, "Oh, you're using Searchspring?" "No, not yet." And our customers are like this unpaid army or like angels that just run around events just raving about how they couldn't live without Searchspring. Just this week, we had one of our customers. They're moving on from the brand, and like it's my best platform ever. And the customer success manager's been just absolutely fantastic, right? And so getting that feedback from customers is what kind of inspires us and drives us. I was talking to one of our clients, Ben from Oxford Shop. And he was like, he had introduced us to another client, and he was like, "It's easy to introduce you. You do God's work," right?
Whoa, that is a huge investment.
It is, absolutely. Because again, they run really lean, and the tech is just there, getting the right products merchandised up, focusing on cross-sell, focusing on conversion.
I think just good work fundamentally is the best recognition beyond anything else. Like you don't need to win a bunch of awards, but like if a client says to you, "Great job," it's like, "Thank you."
Absolutely. If we get like a 9 out of 10 on an NPS score, it's like, oh no, I will email the person that left it straight away because I see the NPS come up straight away, and I'm like, what do we need to do to get that extra 1, right? And
be more amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. But we stay in touch with customers. We're listening. We're watching that. Like we're in tech. Nothing goes perfect all of the time, but we care enough that we're always there to right the ship and lean in when we do need to lean in. And yeah, we definitely love that positive customer feedback.
Yeah, that's what it's all for. Is there any big rollouts happening across any of the tech platforms at the moment that's coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've actually just completely overhauled our full kind of reporting and analytics suite. So really going to be leaning into that AI query. So obviously search is changing, how ChatGPT and how we ask it lots of questions. And so that's generative discovery AI search is where we're definitely doubling down on. So show me a dress for a summer wedding, and then continuing to kind of iterate and personalize based on like, what styles do I usually go for? What colors do I usually go for? And that's going to be a key part of it. We're very big on really having practical use of AI, but then not taking away the brand controls, because ultimately retailers are going to want to control the brand experience and own the customer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise at the moment around like shopping on ChatGPT, and people are not going to go to sites anymore. And I think, yes, there's going to be an element of shopping on marketplaces, on Google Shopping, on ChatGPT, but I think the brands that really focus on delivering a really great shopping experience, one where you want to spend longer on site and look at more products and learn about the products and the brand story. I think those are the ones that are going to continue to kind of thrive in what's going to be a increasing kind of competitive landscape out there.
Yeah, you're so right about how the brand is experienced, because AI will just generate the text that it perceives to be, what's relevant to the user it's asking for, but you don't get to jump on the website and go to the Oxford Shop and go like, oh, this is a really great experience. I want to stay on here for a while and buy more products.
Exactly.
Because if you haven't put the work in that, AI is just making its own assumption of what it thinks your user should be or your customer should be. So you have to be very protective of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to a customer talking about like, yeah, we need to double down. This is the way everyone is going to search in the future. I'm like, I'm still old school with how I shop online. So
Do you go into a store as well?
I do. Not too much, only dog friendly ones usually.
Yes.
So I usually
Getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. So usually online, but we have a rule we can only buy from customers. So back in the early days that was tougher. Now we work with over 350 retailers. So it's and we have like the Myers, the David Jones, the Dom, Adore Beauty. So it's kind of easy if there's not an actual brand we have. We can typically find it now as well. So we're very kind of fortunate with the types of clients we work with. But I think like how I shop is I shop on a laptop, not on a mobile. Most people now shopping on mobiles. I open lots of tabs of all the products that I like, right? And then I kind of like filter it down from there. And I kind of tested the other week. I was getting ready for an event on ChatGPT to try and find some outfits to kind of get in line with like where we're meant to be going, right? And I found it was a lot of friction, right? And yes, it's going to continue to evolve and iterate, but I don't think it's going to be a one size fits all. And I think it's really making sure as a retailer and a brand that you're covering all of those different touch points and those different types of shoppers and those different behaviors, and you're leaning into the tech and the data and the personalization to help with those different elements.
AI has a bit of a disadvantage in that it's supposed to make things easier, but if you find a lot of friction, you just I'm just going to do it the old way.
It's too hard, exactly.
Just going to go old school with it. Just go Google or just walk into a store. That's dog friendly, hopefully. So any other influences on about coming through from AI internally or externally that you're seeing as well?
Definitely when we're working with customers right now. So we've just launched like our AI FAQ agent, really good for like helping figure out like, is this product right for? So we've got a luggage client, for example, that is like, is this kind of, does it fit in the overhead compartments, right? And being able to kind of do those experiences. I think with customers, it's really about leaning into the data around how is personalization working for them, what profiles are working. If we move them up on a page, how is that impacting on revenue? If we change the different flows, products being pushed into flow, email flows, what impact on revenue is that having as well? Should we have accessories into the mini cart? I was talking with Mason DeSaba, one of our fabulous clients that is hyper growth right now internationally. They launched bag charms and wrote $1 million of revenue in 24 hours, right? And so it's like, what are those accessories and those cross-sell pieces that we should be having, and where should they go on site? So I think for us, it's like AI is really around now, like one, how can we scale things, and how can we get, like, again, if we've got a shopper in America right now, what experience do they want to be getting versus a shopper in Australia? How do we get more granular and look at like Queensland versus New South Wales or Miami and New York? They're very different shoppers, right? And that's where we're really kind of leaning in with customers to look at the data, look at the trends, and really kind of get focused on hyper-relevant personalized shopping experiences.
Yeah, and you're very well positioned because you've been working in that space, the adjacent space, now leaning more into it for the last however many years, that the product is very purpose-built for what's coming next, which is really, really wonderful.
Exactly.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, and I think now it's about tech that's really having an impact, right? What is going to move the needle?
Not surface level stuff like get into how we increase that AOV.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Drive revenue and your customers are typically happy.
And then, you'll get the good feedback along the way. Preparing for these upcoming peak seasons. So we've got into financial year, but also Black Friday. It's like 6 months into the year already. So Black Friday is not that far away. What are you speaking about with retailers about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now it's about optimization, right? So really focus on building that culture of testing. So how do you kind of test those like product title structures, product types, product images going into the different channels like Google Shopping to really kind of say what is going to move the needle? Like making kind of tests now that then are going to impact for when you are like leveling up those budgets as well. So I think things like we've done campaigns with the likes of Dan Murphy's Black Friday beer sales, and they just dominated visibility in Google Shopping by focusing on those product types. Another client, Coachella Festival, a big retailer, Mother's Day sales, right? And really kind of optimizing those product feeds ahead of time.
Yeah. So optimizing for Coachella? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, for a fast fashion brand of ours that became very big at that festival time. And yeah, product typing for that and revenue gains. Like we finished that experiment after I think it was 8 days because the revenue was up 76%, right, by doing that. And so we rolled that out more widely as well. And then on site, it's like testing how shoppers are searching, making sure that the right products are coming up, make sure that we've optimizing for size curve availability, right? So if we're at 60% size curve availability, let's merchandise those products to the top. But in times of sale, do you want to change that to 50% or do you want to change it to 70%? And really having a lot of A/B tests running right now to say what is going to move the needle and impact on conversions, testing different inline banner messages to see, is it the brand story and the connection or is it the promos? Making sure we've got things like product badges. So last chance, low stock, final hours, selling fast, trending now, staff pick. Like what are those different badges that are going to encourage that purchase behavior when you are going on sale as well? So yeah, for now leading into the sale is the time to be kind of talking to the tech partners that you've got in your tech stack to say, what should I be doing? How is everything performing? What's our kind of low-hanging fruit? What are we not using yet that we should be using?
Do you think there's a hesitancy in the Australian market or APAC market to test? Because I've seen that US, they're very, very open to just throw money at it and see what happens, and it's a little bit more free.
I think it's I think there's a bandwidth challenge, right? Like we hear a lot like, oh, but we're running so lean. We don't have time to do that. But if you're spending money on driving traffic to site and you're not focused on maximizing the dollar return on that, then there's like you're leaving money on the table. And if you're leaving money on the table, I think there's an argument that someone else is there ready to pick up that shopper, right? And so I think we have to be moving towards building this culture of testing, and we like certainly make it easy both on the Searchspring side through A/B testing, and then same on the intelligent reach side through testing of feeds. And so we definitely have customer success team and managed services teams that are focused on that with customers, and that every whip it's like, okay, what should we test next?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think it's, teams are running lean. I think it becomes more important than ever because if you can prove the results of something through a test and you're generating more revenue, that typically gets more budget so you can do more things and actually take the pressure off.
And then satisfy that curiosity, like with the what if scenarios. Are you ambitious enough to turn something on for a week and it not go well?
Yeah.
Because at least you'll know.
But a test that doesn't work is actually, that's not a bad test, right? Because you know not to keep doing what you've been doing or what you were thinking of maybe kind of doubling up and rolling out more widely.
Do you do a lot of testing even internally is in your leadership style, not just beyond the tests you can perform on clients, but, in terms of new marketing strategies or new techniques for sales, are you pretty open to that?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of grown the team from the ground up, right? And so I think what's been great with the team is just give it a go, right? Like I love stretching them. I love it when I hear, oh, we can't do that. I'm like, oh, just humor me and give it a go. And then they come back and it's like, yeah, that was great.
So that's mainly your leadership style, just you're willing to sort of go, yep, just give it a go and really encourage them.
Absolutely. I always laugh. One of our partner managers, who's absolutely fabulous, pinged me on Slack to say, hey, did you look at the Slack message that they sent? And I was like, oh, sorry, I thought that was just posted straight in the partner channel. And you went, wanting me to kind of approve it. And she was like, oh, no, I'd never do that without approval. And I was like, I was thinking, oh, great, you just took initiative and got it done, right? So I think, we definitely very much really kind of like lean into kind of like trust the team. We've really recruited very strong individual contributors and really want to empower them as much as possible. Not to say that we're not then brainstorming and game planning and making sure we put our best foot forward. And it doesn't always go that way. We certainly will have like, how should I respond to this? It's like, it's easy just to answer that question, right? But it's much better to be, I trust you, you've got it covered, or draft it and let's talk about it, as opposed to just giving the answers all of the time. And that's not scalable.
Did you pick that up from somewhere, that leadership style or that ethos? Or has it always been you?
I think I personally have always been like a very strong individual contributor myself. And I think over time, like you have to learn to kind of, if you want to be moving fast, you have to be working with the people around you. You can't just do everything because you can only do so much as one individual person. So it's definitely developed over time. Not to say I'm perfect at it, because there'll be times where I'll just get things done. But yeah, I think certainly since growing this team from the ground up from kind of 1 to 5 and 5 to 10, and we're now 22 people in region. When we were that kind of 5 to 10, like we've really built a lot of trust in that team. We've have people that have really kind of been rising stars, and so it's easy to kind of let go of things when you're starting to see people around you just thriving in what they're doing.
Has there been a time where that trust or that team momentum has really been tested and you learned something from it?
I think we've grown really quickly. And so when you're growing quickly, I think it's you're always going to have some bottlenecks along the way, or things to kind of jump into and need to solve. And so I think for us, it's been really about understanding when we start to get bottlenecks or roadblocks, and making sure that we're like talking about it and people are putting their hand up, as opposed to like starting to kind of fall behind. And I think we've been really intentional about making sure we understand how we're going when we're like in the thick of it, when we're celebrating winning lots of new projects. We've got lots of projects going live, like having enough of a finger on the pulse so we go, okay, hold on, we probably need some help in this area. And recently we've had a lot of success in welcoming new brands. And so it's like, okay, our project queue is getting a bit long, like the projects might be taking an extra couple of weeks to ship. So let's put our hand up. We've got our global team. Great, let's get them to help with some projects and move them through the queue at a faster pace, as opposed to just trying to work within the constraints of the team that we've got in the region.
So you moved on from a head of role to now being GM. How's that been? Difference?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a natural transition from was already doing a lot of the things. I think the biggest step up and change has probably been the team size has doubled, right? So we've gone from having that core team of 10 to now having 22 people in the team. And so really now needing to have the team individually responsible for their areas and really focus on that culture of like ownership and accountability of those areas. Still very involved in a lot of the things that go on the day-to-day, but really making sure that we've got, I mean, it's easy to communicate when you're 10 people. When we work remote, but we have our meetups, you can get everyone together. And now we're very much focused on those smaller kind of go-to-market meetup, a CS meetup, a delivery meetup, so we can get into the detail a bit more as we bring these companies all together. So I think, yeah, that's been something that we've got to be intentional about, is making sure that we have things all kind of moving in the right direction. Every area is like individually very effective, but still aligned with where we're heading for the company.
And What's a common misconception that people think about jumping into working at a tech platform, for instance? Like, what do you see and people go, oh, I actually didn't think it was like this?
I think so. I remember it must have been June 1 year, which was end of financial year, which is one of the best times to buy software, right? And had been at an event. We're having drinks with some of our customers that have worked with us for some time, and they see the fun, right? They see the events, the lunches, the dinners, the networking,
the fun,
and we were like. Getting out Panda docs and like we had multiple deals closed while we're having drinks. Like, wow, is this what goes on behind the scenes? So I think in tech, there's a lot that happens that people don't see. I know often people that don't work with me are like, Kate, do you ever work? You're always having fun. And then people that work with me will go, Kate, do you ever not work? You're always working, right? And it's great that we can blend these two things together. But there's definitely a lot of hard work and hustle that goes on behind the scenes, like whether it is making sure that customer expectations are being met, or we are delivering on projects, we're turning around support tickets like responsively. We are like very focused on growth and on our numbers, and also we know which brands we really want to work with that we haven't cracked yet. I know when we signed one of our customers, a fashion brand, they go, wow, you guys are everywhere. I see you everywhere. It's like, no, we know where you are and we're showing up because we have wanted to work with you for a long time.
Intentional.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, there's a lot of pieces that go into being able to deliver like good quality outcomes for customers, and it starts from the sale and it goes all the way through the team.
So when do you get the actual work done between being at the events and also probably deep in customer onboarding and things like that? When do you actually get to work on things?
I would say always. I have a very understanding fiance. I could be anywhere in the world and I'll still be as responsive like to customers, to the team. So it's about making sure that you kind of structure the days, right? And in between the event this morning and here, I was in a cafe and like an hour on the laptop. Like, it's amazing how many emails and Slack messages you can cover off. But I think it's also about making sure that you empower the team, right? Not one person can do it all. And so really making sure that those communication loops are open and we know who's working on what. We know if we need to reprioritize, like we have those conversations and we have them regularly.
And if anyone sees you and goes, I want to be like Kate, it seems like such a powerhouse, like things are going really well for her. What would your advice be or experience that you want to share with them?
Oh, that's a great question. That I would say enjoy the journey, not just the destination. I think one of the things that I've really kind of lent into since starting Searchspring and where we are today is to enjoy it, to like unite a team. Like it used to be, Kate, you are Searchspring in region, and now I go to events and everyone goes, Kate, your team is amazing, right? And I think like surround yourself with good people and get them to care about what you're doing and get them aligned behind where you're heading. And celebrate the wins, right? Like we have a very supportive culture. It doesn't matter how busy the team are. They're always willing to help each other out. And everyone is like so happy to celebrate the wins, right? One of our sales reps closed a couple of deals on one day this week. And so everyone is in that Slack channel. We had a big project go live. Everyone is in that Slack channel, like, yeah, that's great, good work, like, so good to see, who's next, right? And just having that culture where we really celebrate the wins. But yeah, I think enjoying what you do, it just makes everything so much more rewarding, especially the tough days.
Yeah. Does the dog help on the tough days as well?
The dog definitely helps on the tough days.
What breed is it again?
King Charles Cavalier.
Oh, yeah.
He's a sweetheart.
Yeah. What's the name?
Payne. Named after champagne, Pagene.
Active.
Also helps on the tough days.
Yes. Walking probably constantly.
Yes. Yeah.
Sniffing constantly.
Definitely a sniffer.
So here at Beyond the Fold, we're all about what matters most. So what's one thing that you want people to remember from the conversation?
Yeah, I think probably what I just said, enjoy what you do. I think if you work with good people, and that might be customers, like I feel like when we host a lunch for customers, I'm hosting lunch for my friends, right? It's like, it's a nice environment to be in, and e-commerce is like that. We get to work with some like fantastic people. We've surrounded ourselves with a great team. We work with great partners like yourselves, like people that really kind of want to do good work, want to leave an impact. And yeah, I think that's a key takeout.
Yeah. You're a pillar of the e-commerce Australian community. It's always great to see
Yeah,
at the events and everything.
Thank you. Yeah, we do love an event, and we like showing up, and we like just getting FaceTime in.
Yeah. So where can the people find you if they want to reach out, have a chat?
So was at a Retail Fest event a couple of weeks ago, and I found someone I wasn't yet connected to on LinkedIn. So definitely on LinkedIn, definitely very active on LinkedIn.
Yeah, cool. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it was great to chat.